your body with complete multivitamin, the perfect balance of essential nutrients for daily health and wellness. Carefully formulated from natural ingredients, our multivitamin packs vitamins A, C, D, E, plus key minerals like zinc and magnesium to support your immune system and boost energy. Just 1 tablet a day is all you need. Take it with water and feel the difference as prescribed by your healthcare provider. Stay active, stay strong, stay ready with Complete Multivitamin, your daily dose of vitality. Complete Multivitamin, simple, powerful nutrition. Go get this product at blackhotfirenetwork.com at the Sports and Nutrition store.
Sukari imepanda siwezi, ugali imepanda siwezi, sukuma hakuna siwezi, maisha ni ngumu siwezi, naviota, Magonga tumekosana, sababu gani zimechazana, mkiwasema tulipigana, msiambie landlord tumeniona, maana nimeamua, narudi,
with your host, none other than sabuni ya panga kwani siku hizi ni ya matajiri. Nilikuwa na kunywa chai ya maziwa, lugo ya kadogo ilikuwa ni lazima. Saina punguza jona strongi bila na hii life mazina unanika inanishinda. Deni nilikuwa na magasembe ya pako, saina menyana na rego jomba jo. Nilikuwa na stay kwa keja ya mawe, saina stay kwa keja ya matope kawa kwale. Nilikuwa na chini ya mashoro wa super, saina group na magleri mboga kupunguza. Yani hata siezi bai hata moto, ama orenge yani siezi kunywa supu. Manze joni vile jo pesa onge, otire na pesha jo pesa onge. Yeah, choke.
Good afternoon, family. Grand Rising. Hope you guys are doing amazing today. 50 minutes past the top of the hour. So, happy Thursday. Hope your week is smooth. This is a major TBT playing right here on the media of the 21st century. Q-Tac featuring Aloha. The name of the jam is Larudi Ocho, meaning I'm going back to the village. Life is so hard, the economy is so hard, I can't pay rent, I can't afford electricity. I'm going back to the village. Yes, karibuni sana. I hope you guys are doing amazing. This is the media of the 21st century, Black Hot Fire Network radio station. To everyone live with us on the radio station, of course on YouTube, Rumble Beach for the first time. Hope you guys are doing amazing. Hope your week is smooth. Hope you're having an amazing one at work, at home, wherever this gets to catch you live from, or rather as you catch this on a replay, wherever you get to enjoy it from. Karibuni sana once again. My name is Joby, and of course, this is the Pan-African Bliss Show, where we'll be talking about Africans need to pass knowledge to each other, and I'll be expounding much on that. I really did enjoy yesterday's conversation. I hope you did learn something on that, like I did. I did enjoy yesterday Pan-African's Bliss conversation, but I hope you did enjoy and learn something on it, for those who also did catch it on a replay. But on today's conversation, the reason why we're talking about this is because of what actually, number one, a video I'll be talking and sharing from Ibrahim Traore with another special message to Africans to actually unite and understand why we're fighting for what we're really fighting. There's a quote I posted yesterday because it's something very normal with Africans. politics. You hear them say, I don't do politics. And you're like, don't worry, politics will catch up with you, because the reality factual of it is that we live in a political world. That is just how the system is. Whether you like it, whether you don't, this is what literally rules your life, your economy, and you have to understand what is really, really happening. You can't afford to be ignorant anymore, because of the same people dragging us behind with ignorance. But on that, we should also be talking about what is happening in Kenya, and of course talking about still why Africans need to actually pass knowledge to each other, because what was happening in Kenya even before the shooting, we saw so many young African youths who are actually bought out by the Kenyan governor, and he came out to defend himself. So a statement he did release today in the morning that he didn't participate in any of this. Of course, you expect a criminal to accept that they are a criminal. Even murderers don't accept they are murderers. So we don't expect politicians to come out and tell us that they have been stealing and they're using our taxes to actually fund goons who have failed to give job opportunities outside there, to actually go and destroy peaceful demonstration, because people are demanding accountability when it comes to the security system, the deployment of it, how people or police officers are handling people outside there. All we wanted, or all people are demanding for, is accountability. And there's need to actually educate each other as Africans, because it is sad. And again, I'll go back to what Kamlesh quoted. The IQ of Kenyans or Africans at this point, if you've been fighting for revolution in every single way or any angle, and then you're easily bought out like this, your IQ actually for real is being tested. So we'll be talking about that. And then we shall also go to Nigeria, always on my topics every single day. But today, a positive conversation coming from Nigeria, of course, where we have soilless farming. I don't know how many of you have heard of soilless farming. Actually, that is what I'm going to start with as we get some positive energy before we get into these other chaotic things happening. Soilless farming is something that is very active in majority of the countries in Africa, but specifically in Nigeria, it has been taken very serious. And we have a young man who actually has created job opportunities to various numbers of Nigerians as much as he could. He has provided job opportunities to these young farmers to they're not even paying a penny to educate themselves on his actual farm, but is actually educating them for free so that they can go start up their farms if they can, and learn ways on how to actually generate also wealth from this. So I'm going to start with that particular video as we get started. But before that, I'd love to remind you to download our app on the Google Play Store. Very easy for you to find. Blackout Fire Network is the name. Get yourself these amazing supplements like the multivitamin, the CMOS, turmeric gummy bears. We have some honey goat with. We have some amazing coffee like Manuka honey coffee and much more. Beauty supplements, not forgetting that for the ladies. So ensure you get yourself some, including the brain and focus formula, as we try focus on today's
Unlock your full potential with Brain and Focus, a powerful supplement designed to boost mental clarity, enhance memory, and sharpen concentration. Made from a blend of scientifically proven ingredients like ginkgo biloba, omega-3, and essential vitamins, Brain and Focus is crafted to fuel your mind. Our process ensures maximum potency and effectiveness, delivering the perfect balance of brain-boosting nutrients. Take just one capsule daily, as prescribed by your healthcare provider, and feel the difference. Whether it's powering through your workday or staying sharp in life's challenges, Brain and Focus keeps you at the top of your game. Stay sharp, stay focused, and stay ahead with Brain and Focus. Brain and Focus, fuel your mind, achieve more. Go get this product at blackhotfirenetwork.com at the Sports and Nutrition Store.
And much more of those amazing supplements, not just the Brain and Focus formula. Like I said, in case you have any question or finding it difficult to purchase these amazing products, ensure you communicate to us via an amazing active chat just right there on your right, just down on the BTFN Sports page where these products are. You'll find a chat there. You can send your message and also email us at casenews15@gmail.com. Communicate to us in case you're having any or facing any troubles with your purchase But karibuni sana once again. As we get started, like I said, we'll start with some amazing information. This is something also new to me that I'm learning, and where there's actually new knowledge. Personally, I thrive in this as well, and I hope you get to learn also something from this. And I think before I also get to share this and expand on it, what I'd say and advise so many people or Black Americans seeking to come back to Africa and acquire land, consider farming as part of your, it should be part of your package actually, or something you're considering to do if you want to settle here. Because number one, you'll be generating food from your own ground. You won't be actually, it won't cost you even much. It's not what you're spending in America to get groceries. It's actually totally close to zero spending. The only spending you'll do is, ensuring you have the right fertilizer to, pour on your plants, to ensure you have the right spray on pesticides and all that, because there's different chemicalized pesticide sprays. You just need to get informed, and I believe actually with what I'm sharing here is also information on different skills of farming. So in case you're looking for land in Africa, you should consider farming as part of when you settle here, because it will make your life easy and simple. Imagine just going to the backyard, getting yourself some fresh carrots, some fresh guacamole, not guacamole, avocado, some fresh tomatoes, onions, and all that, lettuce. It would be really, really nice, and storing them in your fridge or your storage. So let me share this as we get started. But we have Keith in the building. Karibu sana, Mr. Newsom.
Santi Sana Joby, how are you this morning?
I'm good. How you doing?
Good. Yeah, I'm all right. That interview was like, I mean, I didn't get enough information.
Yeah, we'll let you know much more. It's just a nay. We don't like it. It's just some connections going on.
I don't think
Nothing.
he know what he's doing. He came looking crazy. Then he asked for too much money. You out of your mind.
Anyway, TMI. As we start with today's conversation,
Why
like I say, today shall be like
is
something.
it gonna be TMI, Joby? Jesus Christ.
Because it's TMI. It's TMI. It doesn't involve our audience right here on the radio. So it's
All right,
TMI.
all right,
Yes, they draw
all
the
right.
land to their business. That's what's up. But anyway, as we get started, like I said, today shall be sharing something different. This is a man behind the largest soilless farm in Nigeria. And one thing about him, and I love, and this is why actually it's even from my topic, is Africans need to pass knowledge to each other. It's not even just knowledge, but I'd also say opportunities. It's good if you can be able to put on your people, especially in this continent of Africa where we've been uh, ruled, of course, by puppets who have refused, and they're set up not to set up any job opportunities, for Africans. And this way we find Africans going and running outside where they get so much disrespect. And they're told, just like a video I saw today actually from South Africa, Zimbabweans are being told by South Africans now, go fix your country. And I think actually this term should start hitting our heads very much. Go fix your country, stop running away from your country. It's something that's supposed to actually start hitting Africans very hard
You
on
mean
your head.
you
Why
mean
are you
South
being
Africans are telling Zimbabwe? You mean South Africans are
exactly
telling Zimbabwe? Is that right? That's the other way around,
exactly
right? Okay.
exactly? But it's always been, we've seen also the white people telling Nigerians, why are you running away from your country? Go fix your country. And it's supposed to start hitting our heads very hard, because same question should come back to you. Why am I running away from my country, by the way? You have leaders who are driving heavy cars. Shout out to Nigerians. They're laughing at Sinibu for getting stuck in the flood. So you can feel the pinch of what people feel every time it floods and every time it's raining. You need to experience it. You need to experience it. These politicians are driving literally not just heavy cars, but they have like 20 escorts of them. You just want, what are you so scared of? You're supposed to be freely walking, like the Brian Traore, what he's doing.
Like
You
you were
just,
so worried because they're
yeah,
all corrupt.
you
Because they
just
know
need
they're
to,
corrupt and crooks, Joe.
you just need protection if your life is in danger, like Ibrahim Traore. But if people really love you, like Kagame says, if people really love what you're doing, like Ruto is saying, what the hell? What are you so scared of? It never makes sense. Why do you need so much convoy? What is it really for? What is it usually for? Can they really explain? No, they can't. Show off. Again, the big man syndrome. But we go back to this. So I love the fact that actually Africans right now are starting to understand, because I've been seeing this. It's a growth now and amongst youths only, because the older generation, the generation of our parents, the generation of our grandparents, some failed to do this. This is actually creating
They
opportunity
were
for
they,
young
they were
people,
scared, Joey. They were
Africans.
scared.
Scared of what? You're scared to give your people opportunities. What do you mean, Keith? What are you scared of?
The older
If
generation was scared. They
let me
they were
let me ask you.
propagandized, Joe. But they was. Oh, go
Let
ahead.
me ask, if I come to
Uh,
Florida, let's say actually the house you own in Florida, yeah, and I know the garden
uh,
right there needs to be fixed, and you have the money actually to pay me to fix that garden, Keith. So you're gonna let that garden to continue looking like a bush it looks, or you're gonna give me an opportunity and give me that money? What are
oh,
you gonna
true.
do? Or maybe you want actually to start, you want to start farming, right? You don't know how to put up a greenhouse, and there's a young man who actually knows all this knowledge to put up a greenhouse, but you're
I
gonna say
got
no,
you.
f these
I got
people.
you.
No, I'm gonna rather Google and do YouTube videos till I figure out how to put up a of course, which you can. It's not like it's impossible, don't get me wrong, you can, but give someone at least a chance who can do it very.
I got you. I got you. I got you.
That's what this older generation, I feel like, especially our parents and great grandparents, what they did. Because if I try look at someone like my dad, he did, yes, give opportunities to young people, but it was not. You see the way you have grace, I think that's where I kind of get it from. See the way you have grace of forgiving people, like, hey, I'm gonna be nice to you, I'm gonna be. My dad used to put people behind bars. He's not gonna give you time to explain yourself. He's not gonna. He used to give people opportunities. I did see that, but he's not gonna give you time to explain yourself once you mess up. And unlike most of I've seen it, of course, with some people, you're gonna have to employ, someone to be in a business, because you can't be there fully. You maybe to not go. You need to go do stocks. You need to find someone. You need to collaborate with people literally for you to grow. That is just also how
Yeah.
business is. You must work with people for you to generate money. But at
True.
the same time, we've had a sort of gatekeeping of nepotism. Nepotism, which has allowed or enabled so many.
Which destroys everything.
Exactly. It has. We have so many people with skills that actually didn't even require you to go to class. You're born with this talent, you can apply this, but you'll find people who have these skills will not be given these chances in particular grounds or areas, because I'd rather have a cousin here, okay, I'd rather have a cousin here who's gonna get
Exactly.
position, and ensure you don't bring your nonsense skills right here. We'll find out how my cousins can get the skills. So who are you to tell me I can't create nepotism?
What's
And that's
what's called nepotism. So they keep all. That's why countries don't work and things fail. But I think that, as the Nigerian writer wrote, things fall apart because
mm-hmm,
you put your moronic ass cousin in there who's not capable of doing the job. You only put
mm-hmm,
him there because he's gonna watch your back or whatever, or keeping all the money and power in the family. But the
exactly.
country's falling apart because these people are not qualified, Joe.
Exactly, because actually, if you look at exactly, that has led to so many failure of not only companies but also the country, because our economies are the way they are because of this gatekeeping, nepotism. You find people in positions who are
Of
supposed to
course.
be ensuring this is being delivered in this particular sector, but no, it's more of what can be stolen, my grandchildren, my family to go to abroad, schools in abroad, we can have offshores and all that. And by the time you're coming to actually realize that the people are demanding what you promised, you have nothing to showcase and you start running away. Like the Cote d'Ivoire president, you're going to start taking private choppers trying to figure out how you can run away because they're coming for you. And that time is coming because we have so much arable land. If we're talking about agriculture, for Africans to be begging, for us to be begging outside for food, it is
Doesn't make
such
sense.
a
It doesn't make sense. Exactly.
it is such a
Yes.
shame. We're
You have the
begging for
world. You have the world's majority of arable land, Joe. Not just you got arable land. You got the
Mhm.
majority of arable land on the planet is in Africa. The majority.
Sad. It is sad that we're even begging from people who didn't even know how to even to feed themselves, didn't have any sort of civilization.
How
They're the
about
ones
that?
giving us not only even real food, genetically modified food, which creates nothing but cancer.
How about that?
A wicked system. It's crazy. But let me share this as we get started to understand what this young man is creating here and what soilless farming is all about, because I was also learning about this, which is very, very
Meet
interesting.
Samson Ogbole, a modern farmer in Nigeria. On this 300 acres of land equipped with 400 greenhouses, Farmer Samson grows both leafy and fruity vegetables without using soil. This method of farming is known as hydroponics, where plants are grown using either water, coconut, or rice shaft. What's even more amazing, tons of vegetables are produced here every single week.
So they mix rice shaft or coconut shaft and rice shaft to create the loam like. Because if I when I was trying to look at his first video, he was explaining how, of course, crops grow through loam soil. So for you to have a soilless farm or a soilless growth in crops, you need to have or find the same compound that is close to matching the loam soil, and that is majority the rice shaft and the coconut shaft, which creates this particular compound.
And one might assume that the soilless farm employs hundreds of farmers, but that's not the case. You see, every 3 months, the soilless farm trains 1,000 youths on the A to Z of modern farming. These trainees, aged between 18 and 29, not only live and work on the farm during their trainings, but are also compensated with a monthly stipend of $50.
Imagine. So I don't know who is funding him, but this is super, super amazing. You're not paying any dime to get this information. And try to I remember, I think where Wallace was working previously, also they used to offer that. I used to see students coming, you'd see women, men coming to learn different things.
Looks like
And
it's
from there you can go,
hydroponics.
yeah, you can go apply this now on your farm if you know you wanted some information maybe on something. So shout out to him. This is nice.
Completion of their trainings, these young farmers are then provided with free greenhouse setups, which they co-own and manage. As these farmers harvest their produce, the soilless farm team purchase the harvest from them and sell to their own market, creating a mutually beneficial ecosystem where the young farmers earn income, the soilless team generates revenue, and customers receive a consistent weekly supply of fresh produce. If you watch this video all the way to the end, you'll fully understand how this business model works and why it is profitable. But first, I know you might be wondering, why soilless farming? Why not grow traditionally?
A lot of people are stepping out of agri, they are getting old. It means we need to bring in the next generation of farmers, and the only way we can do that is by having a technology that appeals to the young people.
Innovation.
Soilless farming way outweigh traditional farming.
Exactly. So talking about Africans' needs to pass knowledge, innovation. The problem we've had in Africa for so long with everything we've come up with is because once we discover it, the white men are always there to capture it. And we've done this without having also other Africans around us, friends, family, other group of people who are interested to learn this around this particular innovation. Because any information I can pick up from this, if in case they assassinate you today, we might continue with the rest of the remaining generation.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why you pass on the information. That's why you educate the youth.
Exactly, because I do believe so long as you've really shown up interest in something, the universe is always going to guide you to the right pattern. So if there's a puzzle that was missing that you can't figure out, it's going to be downloaded to you, and you and the team will figure it out.
Sure
so that's
will.
the problem we really have as Africans. And this is why I'm saying we need to be able to pass knowledge to each other, because the attempts, not even the attempts, the amount of killings of young innovators is very, very real. We take it as a joke, come up with things, bragging, thinking we're the goats of whatever country you're coming from, until you meet the real goats and they show you how to go. So, sorry,
You can grow virtually any type of vegetable, leafy, fruity, herbs, and flowers. Number 2, there's no such thing as seasonality.
In Nigeria, because of the change in weather pattern, what was cheap today can suddenly become expensive tomorrow. If people love these things to eat year-round, I needed to figure out what can I use to close that gap.
With soilless farming, prices of crops stay consistent throughout because crops are grown in a controlled environment. Number 3, soilless farming is water saving and require less land because you can literally just grow vertical if you want to. And number 4, consistency and faster growth. With soilless farming, plants grow way faster and with enhanced quality. The benefits are just endless. These
If
are
you
just a few.
understand
With
what
soilless
actually
farm,
grows, whatever actually grows something fast, and it keeps walls, it actually is connecting the land with copper, tapping
Mm-hmm.
into the ether. So if you
Mm-hmm.
take a copper rod and plug it into the ground and take electricity from, because remember everything, the sun is just electrical. So if you want to speed it up and make it grow even faster, so I want you to look at this, Joby, on YouTube too. Put an electrical rod. This is what the Africans used to know. This ancient science, not my science, ancient
Mm-hmm.
African. Put a copper rod in the soil next to anything you plant, the road, and it plant faster and bigger
Mm-hmm.
because you're taking energy out of the ether, out of the air. Same way you create water. Well, it's waves of frequency. You're taking the frequency out of the ether, Job, and putting it right into the plant,
Yep.
and it grows faster and bigger.
Mm.
And it's not, and it, like I said, and it's not my knowledge. This is ancient African knowledge. You know,
Exactly. It did exist. I do believe also this is just probably something we don't know. This knowledge that this man is
returning, coming back. Yeah,
exactly returning back to us because I've never
exactly.
had soilless farming anywhere because it's not where you can hear him talking about genetically modified seeds. He's not talking about no fake fertilizers. Is
And it's
actually
and
if
it's
you look at
and it's the way African people understand. You can take everything genetically modified, and you can bring it back to primal source. I'll do that for the show probably tomorrow with me and Joby. How to take things back to primal. Anything that they genetically modified, remember, God code is primal. You can take everything back to God code, primal code, by using static fields or electric fields, and then take your GMO and make it back to regular seeds. Everything. Everything has what they call God code, which is primal code. So if you can take the static fields and you can take the GMO seeds and turn them back into regular seeds. So there's nothing they can do that can destroy the creator. Because you can switch everything back on their wicked ass. Go
period.
ahead, Joe.
massive. It spans an impressive 120 hectares of land and currently equipped with 400 greenhouses. This farm has pretty much everything: administrative offices, a health center.
We have the classrooms where we use for training, accommodation site for partners and greenhouse managers, a recreation center where they get to play football, volleyball, and board games generally. Then we also have religious center, places for the Christians to pray, places for the Muslims to pray. We also have a market space.
This place is called gazebo. They have lectures most times in gazebo. Like yesterday, I had an all-night lecture with Farmer Samson.
So remember, the only reason why Africa stopped farming, let me say this real quick. The Europeans made it illegal for Africans to grow crops. That's why African people are starving. You only grow what they want you to grow to give to European markets. See, everything they do is wicked, evil. Africa never starved people because you come from a continent of abundance. When you went with their system, they say, well, okay, you can only grow this. You must give it to us for profit. These are the crops they call cash crops. These are the crops we want you to grow. They won't feed your people, and we don't care. But this is what we're telling you you're going to do. So that's what the IMF and the World Bank makes Africa do. That's why you got starvation in Africa. See, that's another little dirty secret that you don't know. You're not allowed to farm, Joe, in Africa. What you want to farm. That was
That's what
taken away.
I'm trying to process that thought. It's not hitting my head correctly because what the hell? It's just what the hell. I don't understand how Africa. It's trust me. There's something missing. I don't understand how Africans would just accepted all BS, all this
But
BS.
all the
There's
dominant,
something.
is that it does seem crazy, don't it? That seems
How did you
crazy.
tell me you need to stop planting cassava? You need to. Who the fuck are you? And pardon my language, but who the
You're
fuck
supposed to be
are you?
angry. Put us up real quick, Joby. Put us up real quick, since you keep that open. Go to Google and say the IMF or World Bank um, only allow African countries to grow certain crops. Like, or is it the trade organization? Whatever, the European Trade Organization. One of them say the IMF, the World Bank only allows Africa to grow certain crops. That's why you got starvation in Africa, Joe. Exactly. Who would allow this? Who would accept this, Joe?
I must. There's no way. There's just no way. It's all the knowledge you have as an African, unless you were just stupid. I don't know, born in. I don't understand. It just, I don't know. It doesn't click my head well how we
But
just.
you got conquered by evil people, Joe.
Yeah, but we did have our own stand. That is just the crazy part, you know. But they're saying that no, the World Bank does not restrict African countries to growing only certain crops. The World Bank focuses on
Okay,
support.
let's see. Is that the World Trade Organization? One of the world. So see if the World Trade Organization. Oh no. This is the way you do it. Say what is the organization that dictates what Africa should grow? What is the organization that dictates what what crops Africans can grow? What organization dictates which crops Africans can grow? That's why you got starvation in Africa. You're not allowed to grow certain cash crops that
Okay.
support European markets.
They're not saying which organization specifically. Let me see.
Okay,
Trust
yeah.
System, NGO Foundation want to dedicate Africa to culture. Support biological. They're just saying organization that supports agroecological farming. Let me see. NGOs and foundation want to dictate Africa's agriculture. Okay, NGOs and foundation. Let's see. Okay, there we have.
So what happened, Joby? Okay, when they colonized Africa, right? They knew
Mm-hmm.
Africa had the best land, right? So since they controlled Africa at that time, Africa was still the breadbasket of what. So they wanted Africa to grow, fund, and give their food to European because they controlled it all. They made the money. But when you got independence, so called, they flipped the script again. Like they always just say, oh, we don't want to be paying for no African to make them get them any money. So we want to only allow them to grow certain crops and import their food now from us to make them dependent. See, those
Mm-hmm.
scammers always to have them parasite off of us. So when Africans start getting independent, all the farm stuff in Africa stopped, Joe. That's when you start getting the hunger in Africa. So they want to make you now import stuff from them. So they're still making money off African people's backs.
Yeah, then you gotta
I know
you
it's bad. I'm just telling you what it is.
find someone laughing with a white person very comfortable, very reluctant. A black person comfortably, laughing there with a white person as if they're gonna save them when they're actually even drowning.
They
Even
don't
when
know
you're
nothing. They don't know what you know, Joe. We said nothing. They just don't know what you know.
critical thinking. We were discussing critical thinking yesterday, and
You
Kamlesh
can be
was
a
saying
critical. You can be a
and
critical thinking of it. Go ahead, Kevin. Say what now? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Kamlesh was saying how people can be taught critical thinking, and I was like, I feel like actually this is way beyond being taught. If you're a moron, you're a moron. You just can't actually be taught how to critically think. There's some people you just can't teach them how to critical. If you just can't reason the
They
smallest
might.
thing,
They
you
might be too
expect.
late though, Joe. That's true, but you got to. Kevin's right. You got to be taught critical thinking. They make sure African schools don't teach critical thinking. They teach you not to question. They teach you just to regurgitate what's in the book. So it's just remember what you're told, not to
Mm.
think.
It's crazy, but I'll share the rest of the video family on the WhatsApp for you to continue on that. It's just literally knowledge and him explaining how he has been able to give and pass information to so many young youths. And that is very, very important because that is the
It
problem we've
is.
really had. You'll come up with something that is supposed to be beneficial to generations of generations who can do this. But because you didn't pass the knowledge to even one person, you find it is hard for them to tap
Like I
it.
said, Joe, should
It's
nobody be starving in Africa? It's
true.
criminal. It's criminal to be starving Africa to me. We got too much land. Starving.
We do. No cap. We do have too much land. That is what Ibrahim Traore is saying. I'm about to share his
Yeah.
speech now. But as we talk about also Africans need to pass knowledge, and that's why I'm saying critical thinking sometimes cannot just be taught to other people. If you're a moron, you are a moron. During these demonstrations, the demonstrations we had on Tuesday. Of course, I did share that during the Africa Today show where we saw a young
They,
man.
they arrested that police officer that shot that kid.
Yeah, they did, but the lawyers are
Okay.
defending him, which is so pathetic.
Okay.
Like, they're getting mad because they're saying this video is an AI generated video now. That's the defense mechanism they're coming up with. And which now
Well,
actually, if you talk about a little bit about the AI and when we talked about how dangerous it's going to be, I feel like these are some of the things very alerting.
of
Where
course, exactly.
have actual videos and they're gonna say this is generated by AI. Like, what do you mean? This is someone who captured this video and it was Zoom and you can hear people talking
You,
from the video.
all
What
you
do you
gotta
think?
do, but they got editors and video specialists to prove that's not AI. That won't work. When you bring your video specialist in the court and prove this is not AI. This is
It's
real
crazy.
video.
It's crazy, but I'll go back to what Kamlesh said again. IQ test is being tested on this angle at this particular point. If we've been fighting, claiming that we're fighting for revolution and change, this is the time actually our IQ is being tested by the universe. For real, are you ready for this or you're just yapping about it? Because make it make sense why we had goons being given 527 Kenyan shillings, which is $3, to go come and
Wow.
fight peaceful demonstrators. And not just that, they actually went and robbed shops that actually are selling laptops, phones. They were stealing phones from people who are coming from work, taking everything
Wow.
from you and beating you. And this is being conducted by the so-called, allegedly, the
By the
Kenyan
government.
governor.
Of
And they
course
came
it
up
is.
with
Of course,
Mr.
because that's been the norm. That's been a lot. That's why you're supposed to take those goons and you beat them in an inch of their life. Because they know that it's a lawless country and he can do that. Pay somebody $3 because he kept everybody poverty. They do all that for $3, yo. $3. My God.
Imagine. Yeah, exactly. Now you see what I'm talking. You see what I keep on telling you. When you just have idiots who just are thinking about moonshine. I swear, nothing else. Like for real. You ask this,
$3.
what did you use the money for? Trust me, it's nothing but weed and moonshine. Did you even eat? No, I'm thinking about I'm gonna get some money for food. You're such an idiot because you're gonna actually spend this money not even in a day, a few hours, and then tomorrow you're starving. You're not gonna call the same governor to feed you because he won't even answer your call. They don't have time
Balls, right?
for a moron. That's why and morons are gonna be used like that. You
Of
know?
course. That's why you keep a lot of ignorance going. Of course, yo. You always use the ignorance. Of course.
And the fact, shout out to Ibrahim Traore. This is why, again, I go back to my main topic. Africans need to pass knowledge to each other. That is what he's doing. Passing
Yeah.
information to people, educating them. Why are we dealing with this? Why is this happening? Why is
Hey, so exactly. That's what he said. Yeah, that you must got that speech we talking about. They want our land. They came and stole our people away. Got them on. He tells we're rich. They want Africa. Like they want Africa without the Africans. They're here to steal what we've had always.
Yeah, I want to share that very quickly before we
Yeah,
get
I like that. Yeah.
get closer to winding up. But exactly, not even just that. We've been seeing him from the beginning of his presidency when he
Thanks explaining. Exactly.
he's been explaining and giving details to people, informing them why is this happening, why do I want to do this is for your own benefit, this is not good for you. But unlike Ruto, when their goons actually vandalizing businesses, which is of course coming also from his regime, the people he has employed, Ruto
Of
is saying
course.
he's very unbothered, and no propaganda, nothing is going to shake him from having another 5 years of term, for him to deliver.
Another 5 years. See this? He let you. He telling you out loud, "I'm going to steal it." He's. There's nobody likes Ruto, so he's letting you know, "I'm going to steal the election." Yes, and
It's
see if you try to stop.
not gonna be nice because I feel like right now the atmosphere. I was saying this yesterday on the show before the lights went out on us, right? I was saying the atmosphere that we have right now in Kenya and where we're headed is gonna be forced, where even the older generations who have been sitting their ass down, not wanting to fight back. Right now, it's your children fighting for this, you know, for revolution, for different leadership.
Yeah, for justice. Why do you think? Why they see what's going on in Kenya? Why do you think King Charles all of a sudden showed up in Kenya? What's going on?
Exactly.
Because they're scared about them losing their grip and their power in Kenya. The white people are scared. That's why. And King Charles just showed about the blue in Kenya. He said, "Hey, you better get these niggas in the street in order. You better do what you got to do, because they see, Joe. I told you, Joe. They in the street, the spies in the streets, listening to people, hearing people talk. They say, this place on the coast of a revolution.
You better take your ass back to England. Go drink some porridge. It's very cold out here, especially in Nairobi. Go drink some porridge. You know, do something better, helpful with your life. That's what you're gonna do, because you're not gonna stop this. Like I'm saying, the atmosphere where it's headed, it's the older generation who refuse to fight for this bad corruption and leadership, whose children are getting killed right now. So you're not gonna tell me, you as a parent, on normal sense, again, critical thinking, that's why it hits you. Your children are dying, especially if you
can't kill my baby.
Exactly.
Can't kill my baby.
You're gonna tell me you've lost 1, 2, 3 children and you're still sitting your ass down calling out on the government. You're gonna do something about it, or are you gonna keep on whining and crying like a baby?
There you go. That's the new African. You're the new African.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Because that's how I feel. If for real these people are not gonna turn out on 25th of this demonstration, on 2027 to say Ruto must go and ensure this man does not be re-elected or selected again, then there's something wrong with Kenyans. IQ for real.
I think it's gone too far. I don't think he'll be. I don't think Kenya will allow him to steal it. I think I think the country's going to explode. I don't think there's no way they're going to believe that he won any election. There's no way they're going to be able to. There's no way they're going to be able to tell Kenyans Ruto won a fair election. I just don't see that.
It's gonna be super bad. The rumors, the language on the street is this man must go. Actually,
exactly.
The border people, if most of them, you hear them, those who understand politics, if you hear them talk, they're like, nah, this man has gone too far. This is too far. This is not a leader. This is a murderer. That is the term is being given. Because you're literally killing people on broad daylight. You have the right and the authority to say no more, but you won't. As a matter of fact, today we woke up to police officers telling us on 25th of this particular month, that is on Tuesday of Wednesday next week.
They go out there.
Yeah, they're telling us we're ready. Whatever comes, we're ready. And Kenyans have said we're also ready. So let's see. Police versus against the citizens. Let's see how it's gonna be, because I don't feel that the atmosphere is just super different right now, right here. It's people want Ruto gone. But this is some of the events, of course, that took place.
The father of a young man allegedly shot in the head.
We have the father, of course, of the guy who was shot, demanding accountability. But it's not going to happen because, again, our IQ is being tested. And the need to pass knowledge to each other is to inform, especially this older generation that failed and was so reluctant with this stealing, corruption, bribing type of system that has been going on. They need to be educated why we're doing what we're doing, because some of them, it has not hit their head. A good example, I'll go back to
they were scared.
I don't care. It's your time now. If you are scared, we're here to educating you as your children. Wake up. I'm not scared as your child. So what are you scared of? You're older than me. What are you scared of?
Age has nothing to do with cowardice, Joe.
Okay, cool. So act like a young man, act like a young person, thrive in this, thrive in actually me trying to fight and save our country. What I'm trying to say is this generation has not been educated enough because they're the same generation which is easily being We had a man killed in the police station. The main reason why we had another man shot on the head on a close range, selling masks, to people who are demonstrating is because people are demanding accountability on the street. As we're demanding accountability on the street, the person whose son we're fighting for, or Kenyans were fighting for, was given 2 million Kenyan shillings by President Ruto and told what? Oh, you know, I feel your pain as a parent. I also have children. Your children are not dead.
Exactly.
Your children have been studying abroad or whatever they have been studying. Your children are not dead. Your children are running offices. You're here giving us propaganda of how Kenyan men have failed to marry your children. Nobody wants corrupt children. I don't think there's anyone who's interested to be in such a family type of a circle, because what the hell? So it's a big problem, and it's very important for us to educate each other, Africans. Before you step out on the street, understand why you're fighting. Are you ready for what you're really going outside there for? Because once you step out, it's always whether you're gonna come back or you're not gonna come back. You never know.
True.
You never know. So you have to be fully ready. You have to be educated and understand you're going there fully spirited as an African, being proud of what you're fighting for. So in case even if a bullet hits you, you die actually putting a smile on your face because you knew what you were doing. I feel like that's what it should be. You should be actually very proud that you're dying, fighting for what is right.
Well, that's true.
You didn't die stealing. You didn't die, disobeying the law. You are practicing what is the so-called democracy.
You died for freedom. Price of freedom is death.
Mm-hmm.
Head by Kenyan police has called for the officer to be charged. 22-year-old Boniface Kariuki remains in intensive care after undergoing surgery on Tuesday night. He's believed to have been caught up in a confrontation with two officers in Nairobi.
That man was not caught up in any confrontation. We rebuke this mainstream media talking crap. The video is very evident. This man was minding his business just like any other business person, waiting for customers to come buy masks from you, because of course during demonstration people wear masks because of the tear gas and everything. This man was just minding his business, was just standing there doing nothing, not offending anyone. They slapped him, abused him, and killed him. So what are you talking about, controversial?
Test against the alleged killing of a blogger in custody. I would say that those police officers need to take responsibility because they also have children.
I'm sorry to say, but look at the people now who are actually even calling for justice. If you look closely, this is a drunk ass man. This is a drunk father. I'm sorry to say, but if you look closely, this is a drunk father. This easy. If I give you 1 million, what are you gonna do with it? Or 2 million? The same thing the other man was done.
The person they hurt is somebody's child. It's someone who had to hustle before they reached where they are. He has gone to school and gone through a lot, and in our work, which is hawking, sometimes you get hurt. He would stay at home for 2 weeks, and I usually took care of him. So I feel a lot of pain. And that police officer has committed a crime. Stern action should be taken against him.
There's nothing that's going to happen. Again, these police are protected. Globally, I think it's a system. I don't know. Globally, I think it's a system. Especially in Africa, it only works because I think it's an African... I don't know, in Africa how it works. Should I say because you're black for black, so they'll protect each other. In America, it's kind of different because when you see most of the black cops, the way the system changes things, towards them and favor the white ones is super, super crazy. But justice is not going to be served again. Like we understood, what I understood, the quote I understood this particular week is legality is a matter of power, not justice. So the legalization of killing us has already been given. Ruto has been allowing this. He has actually refused to stop the shooting, which he can. He can ensure these people end up behind bars if he's a president working. If you set up strict, serious rules and laws of your country, how it should operate, it's going to be followed because you're not effing around. It's F around and find out. Execution should be applied.
That's right. Say it again. It's what job is that for? What is it? Step around and find out.
Yeah, F around and find out. That's what should be done because that's what Ibrahim Traore now is applying. He's telling you if you found under any sort of corruption, this is what is gonna happen to you. So
That's
if
it.
this country set up also strict laws and they meant it, no one would be messing around, no one would be taking you as a joke. But because it's a joke of a country, not even it's a dictatorship you're setting up right now to ensure people are gonna be walking in fear. We can't practice democracy. What is democracy then? Can this fuckers make us understand the term democracy? You should actually rewrite it and say democracy is when citizens come outside to practice their rule. That is not allowed. That is democracy, according to you guys. And this goes to actually even America, like because America at the top, they're gonna after a few days you're gonna hear, oh, the US is demanding actions for what is happening in Kenya, and they're calling for democracy application.
Exactly, because it's fake. That's the scam they use. That's the scam they use. There's no democracy. Democracy.
Can you practice democracy on your own citizens? Number one,
Nope. Nope.
Can you give black people back what they deserve? Can you leave
Nope.
Iran alone? Can you stop
Nope.
working with Israel?
Nope.
Can you let us know what our enemies? Number one, no, you can't. So of course. So why are you talking about democracy? Move out of here talking about democracy. And shout out to someone like Kagame. Kagame is always, Kagame is always, these people always talking about democracy, but they don't practice it. But you obey them. You listen to what they tell you. You don't speak about democracy anywhere. Your people are living in silence because there's no democracy in that country. So what are you talking about?
Right. I've never seen them wandering on social media ever.
It is so crazy, man. It is crazy. But this is why information is so important to us.
Of course. That's why they want to control information.
We need to be educated heavily on what happens on the ground and how to react to them, how to react to this, because none of these family members should be bought out. You deserve justice. You need to see this police officer rot, and if possible, actually we need to bring back hanging. We need to bring back hanging of these people who are doing this kind of crimes. Raping, I'm heavy on rape and killing.
Of course, you'd be like, I told you, you get the bubble gum to the head, or you get hung.
Oh, okay. I think I'd enjoy the hanging more. I want to see you struggle with the life. You watch someone else struggle with their life. How does it feel? Say your last words, pray to Jesus, maybe might do a miracle. Yeah. Sinovia said they're waiting on Jesus. For hell, yeah, call him. Let him help you, please. He's listening always, right? Your pastors, your government keep on telling you this man, this son of God is listening. So please, do some prayer. Let me play the last video of the day as we understand what we're really talking about, passing information to your people, which is very important, and what this young man, example of what leadership should be in Africa, what he's doing.
Our ancestors wrote our national anthem.
Qu'est-ce qu'on vivait hier seulement et qu'est-ce qu'on vit aujourd'hui? Et ça doit vous donner de la motivation à vous battre. Et ça, c'est très important.
Against all forms of domination.
Battez-vous pour vos terres.
Burkinabe do not accept humiliation.
Pour léguer un Burkina meilleur aux générations à venir.
We stand against neocolonialism.
Exactly. They want to humiliate you. They want to kick Africans back. They get told. He knows that. See, he's seeing the humiliation. Then people treat you like garbage. They want to humiliate you. You just take it. Good job.
On a lancé plusieurs initiatives.
We inherited this land.
Nos parents au village sont, en tout cas, plus ou moins contents de tout ce qu'on fait pour eux en matière d'agriculture, parce que notre population est en majorité agricole.
So we can pass it on to our children.
En matière d'infrastructure routière pour pouvoir se déplacer et tout. Mais tout ça, c'est avec nos ressources.
We are not just fighting for ourselves.
Vous regardez les images des autres pays. Vous aimeriez que votre pays aussi ressemble à
We fight for future generations.
développés là. Vous pensez que c'est impossible? Eh bien, c'est possible.
Who here doesn't love their child?
Il y a 2 ans de cela, je dis chez les autres, même les hôpitaux
A
pour les
parent would
animaux
rather die than let
sont
harm come
mieux
to their
équipés
child.
souvent que nos hôpitaux.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about now, the Kenyan parents.
Exactly, Joe. You're right. Exactly. I know you're right.
You're gonna stand there like morons you've been for years and still be morons now. You're losing your family members. You better. What are you gonna die for? Again, that's the question I go back to. You've been living your whole years as a parent. You want to die protecting your child now? You know what is the worth of being a parent? Let me try and understand that as well. Like, why are you a parent?
True.
You tend to die trying to save your own child who you've been raising for years and you claim you love so much. You know, please, you don't deserve to be a parent if you can't stand to be one.
Aussi, qui nous soignent. En termes d'appareillage.
So, we fight today.
Mais qu'avons-nous fait pour que nous soyons à ce niveau? Eh bien, nous allons rattraper et dépasser.
So our children may live
Ce qui
free.
nous a amené à lancer des programmes également pour pouvoir construire des centres de santé modernes et équipés.
There's no hesitation in
Il
this
n'y a pas
fight.
de raison que nous restions à la traîne.
Exactly. It doesn't require hesitation.
C'est pour dire que tout ce que nous faisons, il y a
We
la
will
possibilité
oppose
de
whatever
le
the
faire par
oppressors
rapport au
want to
faire.
impose.
Et nous allons continuer dans ce sens. Ceux-là qui ont la chance d'aller en stage à l'extérieur, qui
We
font des
must
photos
fight
au
on.
bord des jolies rues, des jolis immeubles, c'est possible ici au
Listen to
Burkina.
our anthem.
Et c'est ce que nous allons faire pour que vous viviez à l'aise et bien.
Let it inspire you to remain committed.
Mais pour ça, il faut se battre d'abord. Voilà pourquoi je dis il faut méditer son
Burkina
engagement,
Faso is very
écouter
rich.
notre hymne et se battre. Vous êtes très courageux,
Our
très
armed and
combattants.
security forces have grown.
Mais souvent, il y a de ces attitudes.
What we should have done a long time ago. The moment we realize we have threats and security threats of Al-Shabaab, Al-Qaeda, what are they called again? Pirates. What are they called again, Keith? Remind me the other names.
Boko Haram, ISIS, Al Qaeda, ISIS.
The moment we realized we had this problem as a continent, and the African Union, of course, talks for Africans, right?
That's what he just said. That's what he said. He said that's what he even said. We're out of the African Union. It's fake. Ran by Europeans. It's phony. They never said anything about African Union. They said nothing about fighting these terrorists. They can't even do anything. Exactly. It's fake, Joe. Africans always giving fake organizations, Joe, but they don't do anything.
Why didn't anyone, again, this is why none of these idiots for years have had critical thinking of saying, as a leader of this country, yeah, since I'm a board member of the African Union, I think the solution for security should be this and this. None of these idiots thought about it. Oh, okay.
They thought about it, Joe, but the puppets, they can't, they controlled by Europe. They know, you think these puppets don't know that Europe is the one destabilizing their countries? They know that.
Then you're all weak. You're all weak. You don't have.
How is he the only one that knows this now? And also Niger and Mali. How are they the only ones that now know this, Joby? Come on.
As the universe, I declare you weak because you don't deserve to be actually termed as men. Because why are you men? You can't actually stand up, face other men.
There you go.
To face other men like a Trump. You don't have balls like Vladimir Putin. Like Kim Jong. King Jong. You don't have such
Kim Jong-un, the Korean guy.
So have our resources and equipment.
Notamment l'utilisation des téléphones portables. Ceux-là qui vont se montrer incapables de changer, de laisser tomber les téléphones en opération, nous allons les chercher de nos rangs et nous allons les punir sévèrement.
From wealth that was previously mismanaged.
That's why he's dangerous, because he's showing you an African man again. Look at all these African so-called presidents. They're all weak, feckless looking. That's been put out on the stage of the world. He's dangerous because he's exactly unhealthy. He's an African man that looks like that can like Joe would say, that can F you up. He looks like somebody you have to fight. That's why that's why he's not supposed to ever get leadership. You're supposed to have Africa looking like a weak continent to be conquered with your Paul Beards, your damn 70s, your damn that goopy broad over there in Tanzania, the other moron down in and more down in South Africa. Let me say something to the president. All weak, like that moron in Zimbabwe. All these weak, feckless ass. You think that's an action? All these Africans are all weak and feckless. That's on
It's
purpose. But go ahead,
I
Joe.
saw the video Iwaton shared yesterday because I just saw it today and I was like, God
I
damn.
didn't see it. What video she shot? I didn't see her show. What video?
There is an MP who was appointed. This man can barely talk, can barely walk. Was appointed while on a chair in Uganda as a MP. You're like,
And you got it.
man, and you're like, what the hell is really going on here? Like, what?
He's somebody's cousin, Joe. He's in the 70s family with nepotism.
Yeah, he's been told, thank you, member of whatever parliament for coming. Can't talk, man. And I don't like mocking people, but like, what the hell? This is a mockery to Africans, us as ourselves.
Of course it is.
Mockery. Like, oh my God. This is so crazy. This is so crazy. Oh my God. This makes sense why. If I was a white person, I'd be laughing too. Like, look at these idiots. Look at
Exactly. That's what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to keep Africans as weak to say, yes, they can be dominated. They're supposed to be conquered, and we're supposed to control their lands and get rich off their dumbass. That's like it's almost showing what you showed yesterday, Joey, when they had all the racist, when you was reading all the race stuff, that the African's supposed to be ruled, he's supposed to be dominated, and that's just the natural order thing. So that's what the Europeans is showing you in real time with these puppets in Africa.
It's crazy. It's sad.
Mettre la vie des autres en danger.
There is still more.
Vous imaginez, vous êtes en détachement sur votre position. De bons soldats montent la faction,
Understand this.
concentrés à leur poste, ils finissent, ils descendent, ils doivent se reposer. Et un
No
saboteur
country lends
se
money to buy
retrouve au
weapons.
poste avec son portable sur TikTok ou quoi, 1xBit, jusqu'à ce que l'ennemi approche.
If you want to arm yourself, you use your own funds. When Traoré, along with leaders from Mali and Niger, took power through what the AU called unconstitutional means, the African Union responded
AU.
swiftly.
Get outta here.
Suspensions, condemnation, and diplomatic isolation. But here's the question. Was the AU protecting democracy?
Never. It has never protected nothing called democracy.
Exactly. Take the European rights. Exactly.
Let me actually widen my screen. You see this kind of, Mongolian idiots you have on the screen here, feeding their stomachs and wearing nice suits to look important. They ain't shit. That is just the truth. They ain't shit. Just feeding your stomachs, very unhealthy, very uncompetitive. Just a very unsuit for your chair. You don't deserve to be there. Like, just look at this. What a shame. This is Museveni, an example of what his mind is filled with. His mind is filled with just, I don't know what to call it. Look at what is this? What is
He's a moron. That's why he's a moron. That's why he's there.
Anyway.
General Moses Ali for Adjumani West constituency in Adjumani district. Congratulations.
Who's this Ugandan or Nigeria? Where's this at?
This is Uganda, 86-year-old second deputy prime minister. It's sad. It is
you can't make this shit up. Show play that again.
And the even craziest part is that this idiot on the screen knows exactly what is being given. You see him shaking his head, like shaking his head happy, smiling for the camera. He can't even smile.
He was an advocate, but this is a moron. But see, and you wonder why Africans remain poor, people stealing from. This is a moron. And then you have all the youth are supposed to be celebrating this idiot, say, "Oh, respect your elders," instead of calling him what he is. This is a moron, not fit to serve any damn. This is an idiot. You shouldn't be in no kind of government position. You're always too old. Go sit down somewhere, grandpa, and suck on some porridge. Whatever you do, but you got to go. You're not supposed to be in government. You're not supposed to be in government at 85 years old. Your mind ain't even sharp no more. You got to go. But this is what they've done to Africa on purpose. That's why Africa's remained like impoverished. This is a moron. And you're supposed to be able to call him out as a moron. There's supposed to be no damn government. Motherfucker's 85 years old. It's crazy.
The driver is ashamed because he's like, what the hell did they bring? They're embarrassing me that I drive this moron looking like here, because this motherfucker can talk. He can't even wave. His ones are going sideways. Like, what the hell? And he understands the position he's being given because he's shaking his head. He's like, you motherfuckers in the village have been playing with me. You're going to find out.
That's exactly right, Jim Mosquito. 86 years old. And they know. And that's what 86. He makes Trump old as hell. Makes Trump look like a young man. You young man, Trump. Trump is old. 86 years old. You can't even make this up.
It is sad. Sad. But anyway, as we come to the end of today's conversation, I see Byron Scott in the building. Karibu Scott.
Oh, do this for me real quick, John. Do this for me real quick. Say, unless you live, and most of mine living healthy. He's not a healthy man. So ask you, say, does your mind, say at 86, does your mind, does your brain enter entropy? Or decline. I'm just making these decline, but I would say entropy. But say at 86, does the mind go into decline?
They're saying while some cognitive
means your brain
decline is normal with aging. It's not.
It's normal.
It's not
inevitable, but it's normal. So at 86, Joby, he's not supposed to be no president or prime minister or whatever. He's not supposed to be nothing in government. He's too old. He's an old moron.
And that's what we have. Sadly, that is what we have.
Yeah, that's on purpose. You got people peeing on themselves. Got old Paul Beard. He said, don't you know he's like, why you didn't tell me I was in a meeting today? What? That's on purpose.
And arrest you for telling them you need to go pee. Like I need to remind you. Isn't it your own body? You feel your own body. I don't carry your own balls and penis like to tell you like time to go, sir. Being respectful, sir. You feel your own body. Your brain tells you it's time to go pee. So you need to come tell me I need to take you go pee if you can't snap that. That's crazy.
Exactly right, Jim. That's 20 years over retirement. Really, in Europe, you guys retired at 60. That's 26 years over retirement age. 26 years over retirement age. When you hold office, you should be like 35 to 55. Okay, that's your time to serve. Or up to 60. After 60, you got to go.
In Kenya, they made it. For you to vie for a presidential seat, you need to be 45.
45?
Yeah.
See, you see, that's too old. You see what I'm talking about? That's crazy. Now, how is it in America, any place in the West is 35 years old? 45 is too old. They on purpose, they want old people in Africa to destroy shit. You're old moron. Because they know the youth have all the ideas, and the youth start revolution. The youth in the street in Kenya. Youth have all the innovations, and the youth have all the ideals. What is this old Negro gonna do? This motherfucker was around back in World War II. He's 86. So that means this moron was like 10 years old after World War II. What?
Yep, it's crazy. But anyway, as we wind up, I see Byron Scott says, Keith, all the land in America and Europe is poison. In short, you draw mosquito. It
is. You're right. That's another thing, because they all use all these herbicides and pesticides that poison Europe. So the best food is going to be in Africa. If they fight, that's why they're trying to get into Africa. The best food is going to be Africa. They have destroyed America's and Europe's soil because of the pesticides and the herbicides. That's true. It's crazy.
John Mosquito says, nowadays we don't even know what time Joby is coming on. Come on. After Kamlesh show at 1 p.m., okay? We had to check Kamlesh on time because, sometimes maybe there's traffic and all that. So he needs to come a little bit early so I can start by 1 p.m.
Yeah, he's got to come early. He can't just show when it's time to go. He got to be at work at least a half an hour early, Kamlesh.
Yeah, so I'm sorry, Joe Mosquito. It's at 1 p.m. my time. I don't know what's the time that in London, I don't know. That's sister Sinovia, you're doing amazing as well. Nice to see you. She says, hatch your own and protect the colonizer. I mean, she
Yep.
also says we need to boycott together from around the world against these corrupt African politicians. Yep. And I also see, yeah, those are all the comments, of course, and what John Mosquito also added right there. We need to, but it's gonna take, again, trust me, it's not going to happen if we don't teach majority of the people and those who are willing, because there's some idiots who just need to slap on the mouth and then the head to just like, get the hell out of here. You're not ready. The Africans who you just can't talk to, trust me. Like when you go talk to a crackhead, tell them to come and join you for, I don't know, maybe a crackhead is better than someone who's on their sober mind. I don't know. They're just Africans who just can't try have a conversation. You start getting mad already. You're like, bro, just shut the fuck up and leave me
Don't
alone.
get mad, Joe, because you've been under indoctrination. Man, you've had 150 years of indoctrination and lies, so it's under that system.
Critical thinking. I'm heavy on critical thinking. I'm still gonna be heavy on that.
But
Small thing.
you gotta be taught that. You keep telling like it's normal to have critical thinking.
Kit, were you taught critical thinking? Huh?
I wasn't taught it, but I had to learn it. I wasn't taught.
Let me ask you a very simple question of something you did
Okay.
at a very young age. If anyone told you this is critical thinking you need to have, right? When you are in the drug, whatever, with your friend, then you guys got money, and then your friend wants to buy, I don't know, a car, I don't know, bought some flashy stuff.
Yeah, you
And
buy
then
cars and other stuff. Yeah.
you are smart not to go showing the flashiness because people are gonna question where is the money coming from.
That's right.
Did anyone need to teach you that?
Was that was Joby, was that critical thinking or was that common sense?
But critical thinking comes with common sense. You need to have common sense to critically think. Okay? So many people don't even have common sense,
Was that common sense? Joby? I was like common sense, like, hey, don't start buying a bunch of shit with kids. It's gonna draw attention and we're not gonna be able to prove where we're getting the money from.
It's both. Number one, you are conscious of where people are gonna start questioning where's the money coming from. And then critical thinking is if I misspend this money you got shit to do. You had plans, you wanted to buy a car, so that sorry, you can do shit and all that. You are like, I need to have a plan ahead. That is critical.
I did. That's true, but I think that's true. I think right. So I think some of us acquire critical thinking faster. If you're an avid reader, you probably get critical think. I read a lot as a child, so I think if you read a lot, it forces you to critical think because the book is asking you certain questions and give you certain narratives where your mind goes into critical thinking mode. So, but see, most European systems now in school, they try to get you out of critical thinking because, like you said, you're going to ask why these governments doing what they're doing, why is everything so corrupt, and you're going to you're going to try to have revolutions. So they try to steer everybody away from critical thinking now. So you're right.
All right, John Mosquito. I'm not saying Keith was not born with common sense. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying most of what people don't have even that common sense. Let's just be factual, just for real. There's some people, you see, I see videos, there's just some Black American women, sorry to say, or men,
stupid as hell.
Opening their mouth, you're like, what the hell? Like
exactly.
Did you stop? Which grade did you stop? Maybe schooling and understand that.
Shoot. They might have went to all school and still came out morons, Joby.
Yeah, and even if you didn't go to school, there's street knowledge. Actually, street knowledge is even way, I'd say,
better.
More advanced.
Right.
Yeah, than
it is.
School. So
it
it's
is.
Common sense, critical thinking, because street teaches you a lot you won't be taught in the school. So please.
Of course.
Some people are just morons. That's just it. But anyway,
that's why you're not supposed to have baby with a moron, Joby. Your kid would be a moron.
Oh no! Oh my guy, I'm very careful, man. I can't even stand a man who can't critically think. So you imagine trap me with a brain.
Shout out to my grandma, baby. You're gonna marry into this people. These people are morons.
Exactly. Oh my, that's why they say listen to your elders sometimes. They see something you never see.
I know, I didn't think about that. You're right.
Come on, Chida family. Have yourselves a beautiful day. It's been
What's
an amazing
up, guys?
show. You guys have enjoyed. Of course, for those who shall be catching this on a replay, Rumble Beach it on YouTube, on Spotify, and
I might
enjoy.
I might have to come back tonight, guys. I might cancel Joby's music show because we didn't do the show yesterday. I really wanted to talk about something I wanted to talk about yesterday. So we probably come back tonight, guys.
Okay, no problem. So tonight, tune in on the Africa Today show.
This show.
Ensure you catch up with the conversation we shall be having. So peace. Have yourselves a beautiful day, or whatever the time is on your end.
Greetings and salutations, everyone. Here is Andrew Robinson from Switzerland.
7 o'clock in the morning where I'm at. 7 a.m.
You're tuning into Black on Fire.